Two friends, two minds, and one love for Arsenal Football Club. You are now listening to the Cod and Two Minds podcast.
Yeah, big baby.
Yeah. I'm just playing. What's up?
What's going on, my friend?
Oh, man. You know, I've recorded the game. Had to come home, watch it on delay.
Stayed off Twitter. No surprises.
Tried. I mean, I saw one little oops. I shouldn't have seen that, but
right. Don't you hate when that happens?
The first goal, yeah. I was like, oh, it's 1-0 already. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, the main thing I learned today was just how god awful West Ham really is. I mean, no disrespect, but they're terrible. I'm glad we didn't do a podcast after that 3-0 win over West Ham. I knew it was, it was just, it was pretend, It was, it was all bullshit. That's all I was screaming. Like, oh gosh, when I was reading Twitter, everybody, we're back and this and the team looked great. Man, West Ham are awful. Yeah, they're awful. we ran circles around them. You know what I mean?
That's a good take from the Crystal Palace game. Yeah.
Because Big Sam chomping on fried gizzards all game. Put on a masterclass coaching display, tactics.
Oh my God, dude.
Defense, getting your team organized and ready to play from the beginning with passion, intensity. Stick it to them.
This, I tell you what, this Arsenal team, though. Like, I mean, you know what? I mean, I blame less on the players just because this is your style, Wenger. We're rolling through the league with your style of ball, and it's a lot of back and forth sideways. Every team in the league I see, Crystal Palace barely above relegation, like. We're just slicing us up, dude. Just so direct with their attack in comparison to Arsenal. It's a joke, Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal, a lot of frosting and no cake.
Oh, yeah.
Just a lot of quick passes zipping around sideways and back, and nobody wants to shoot. Ozil scored a goal against West Ham outside the box. He couldn't pay him to take a shot. Anybody. Xhaka refuses to shoot. No shots. Just a lot of bullshit.
El Nino shoot. El Nino. No.
I mean, he tried a couple, and I can't be mad at him for at least trying. Do something. Maybe get a deflection. Do something. But just a lot of fluff. Just it's like a bad hand job, just a bad hand job. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Give me my dick. I'll do it. Just stop. But I tell you what, you would know which team was fighting for survival, just based on the way Crystal Palace came out to play. I mean, they can't. But, this is the thing, dude. It's not as direct. Well, West Brom is basically, they're just waiting on set pieces and they're just going to boss us that way. But as far as the physicality and the intensity and the pressing and just the defensive organization, I mean, it was you had to expect what happened. You know, I mean, you know, I talk shit about. I mean, I don't talk shit about Big Sam. I like Big Sam. You know. Put it this way, Fitz. You know how we got in the NFL. You know, American football. You know, there's a head coach, there's an offensive coordinator, and there's a defensive coordinator. I would love to have Big Sam be our defensive coordinator. Just, just how organized and how to, you know, they made it very hard for us. But you figured with our technical ability and our quality, we could have broke them down. But I mean, the team was flat from the beginning. Passes were going awry.
I mean, you constantly feel like, you know, well, I mean, it's going to take some work, but they'll break them down. But I mean, lately, I don't even have that feeling. Like, I mean,
yeah,
you know what? I mean, honestly, like at the beginning of the game, I look at the other team and I try to count up, okay, how many like just pure athletes do they have?
Right.
And then you could just go, okay, look, it's
gonna be a tough one.
they got six good athletes out there and a few other guys that pass. You know, the mustard, and hey, they got everything that they need to compete with Arsenal. You know, some big bodies, some guys that run pretty good, and they'll just kind of just push their way through us. They'll just punk us.
I mean, you know, this is you know, as far, you know, our whole thing with Wenger is, you know, he never changes anything. He doesn't switch things up. He doesn't gamble. But I mean, if Purr is healthy, I think I saw him on the bench. You know, he's a big guy. He could, you know, Purr is kind of soft to be so damn big. But I mean, at least maybe he could have handled Benteke, you know, and all those flicks. I mean, Benteke got to every header, you know what I mean? And they just ran, you know, Zaha just ran off him. And, you know, they cut us to shreds. But I mean, you know, that's something Wenger would never do. He would never consider, you know what, maybe I'll play Purr this game. You know, he's fit now. He's on the bench. Maybe I'll give him a shot, you know, just to compete with Benteke. Because Mustafi had his hands full all game. There's a clear size disadvantage and strength. And, you know, and that was going to be their game plan. You know what I mean? And while we're passing the ball around and, you know, and trying to do our thing, you know, the main focus is, you know, how many times have you heard me say this? Is keep it tight. Don't give up no goals.
Yeah.
Even if it's boring for a while, even if nothing's going on, don't give up a goal. Don't go down 1-0. You know, is what should be stressed all week. Stay compact, stay organized. Don't get stretched. I mean, the first goal, you know, a goal kick, you know what I mean? He wins the header. We're all out of position, and they score a goal.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And it was one of those games, man, I got to admit, like, you know, they scared me a couple times early, you know, and then Arsenal got to their little possession game. And, you know, at one point it was like 75% possession. But that's also right about the same time when I'm like, man, really? 75%? And we like really ain't even cracked their midfield line. Like we ain't even got behind their midfielders like once yet, you know?
Yeah. I mean, El Nini and Xhaka, they had a good game against West Ham, but as I've already established, West Ham are awful. They're terrible. I mean, we beat them 3-0. You know what I mean? We beat them 3-0. You know, that's how bad they are. But you're not going to get much out of them as far as, you know, help from the midfield going forward. You're just really not.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, we don't really have anybody else. What do you think about? Do you remember how early in the season how the debate was, you know, Alexis as a striker, you know what I mean? And he played so well. I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, has he forgotten that? I mean, I like Danny, but he doesn't hold the ball up well enough. And if you're gonna play, I mean, I know Giroud's a super sub and he scores goals, but man, I tell you what, dude. I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but I mean, why not play Alexis through the middle, put in Ox, get Theo out of the game, put in Iwobi. I mean, Theo didn't do anything today. Nothing. But where the captain's arm been. Just
Hey, he was captain though. Ooh.
right.
Good job, lad. Good job.
But yeah, I mean, he didn't.
I mean, even if he wants to play these players, like, I mean, he could like switch it up, put Alexis through the middle, and put Welbeck out wide.
Exactly, because Welbeck is actually a better defender. He could have helped Monreal, who I thought was the only guy who played with a little heart and a little passion.
Only one, dude.
I mean, I thought. He had his hands full with the newly confirmed Ivory Coast player, even though he's English. But
right.
Zaha. But I mean, he was pushing forward. He tried to defend as well as he could. But yeah, that's a good shout out. Why not play Welbeck on the left and play Alexis through the middle? Early in the season, him and Ozil had a good chemistry with him playing in the middle. Ozil can pick that pass, and it's so frustrating. It's just so frustrating. Because,
I mean, you would think the sense of it would be like, hey, look back on the season. Let's see, what period did we have it going best? Oh, that first part of the first few months of the season, huh? That's when you were playing Sanchez down the middle. Exactly.
And I don't know if you were one of the people or a few people on Twitter. I've been seeing this Bellerin shit for a long time. I talk shit about him. I'm, oh gosh, you're so hard on him. He's just a kid. He's awesome. He's so fast. Look at him. All that bullshit. But today was one of his worst performances all year. Just getting served all game by Townsend, an ex-Spur of all people. Just killing him all game. And, here's another thing, dude. If he was to go to Barcelona, he would become a world-class right back. It's coaching. It's what we do in training. It's what we're not doing in training. He has no competition. I mean, we don't even have a right back on the bench, and he's just a kid out there, and he's, all his promise is just slowly being seeped right out of him, dude. It's just disappearing right before our eyes, like so many young players we see. Jack, so promising. Theo, so promising. Looked great early in his career. Ox, oh gosh, he's gonna be a hell of a player. Ramsey, you know what I mean? We see. This is a pattern, people. We see this shit all the time, and it's happening with Bellerin now. If you're, who's next? Iwobi. You know what I mean?
Right.
Who's next? Iwobi. The same shit is gonna happen to him. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. But this is something I've been noticing a while now, and there ain't shit we can do. We don't have another right back.
No. I mean, I think that, if there's any reason that I fully support a new regime coming in, the only reason is to just see these players play in a different style of game. Obviously this is as bad as it's been for a long, long time. But, I think I heard the guy say during the West Ham game that at that same point, Arsenal were 2 points ahead of where we were last year. And we were in second place last year. That just tells you what happened last year.
Right. Yeah.
The whole season was like a goner for everybody. But
the team that won it last year is in 11th place, or something like that. It's just one of those seasons.
But just to get these guys in a different setup, man, playing a different style of game, just or Wenger just went out and he found guys that like to play just like he likes to coach.
That shit.
passive and
that's not going to work anymore.
no, it's not.
It's just not going to work anymore.
Like, it's the one thing
mean,
I'm pointing at. What's wrong? What's wrong is that I watch other teams play very direct at us, and we can't do the same thing, or we don't do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing jumping off with this team. Nothing. There's no passion. There's no intensity. At least if you ran around and gave a shit, I wouldn't even trip, really. If you play hard, and you lose, then the team, tip your hat to the other team and go on about your business. But at least you gave it all you got. But I mean, we can't even really do that. It's a debacle. I don't know what else to say about it. As soon as he brought in Ramsey and Giroud, I mean, the shit hit the fan. Like this, they scored 2 goals. Ramsey, I mean, there's something. It's deep, man. It's deep. There's something going on within the club as far as training, practicing, being organized. There's something going on the way Arsenal train, dude. Look at Ramsey. He doesn't even look like he knows what he's doing out there. Look at Theo.
Yeah.
Theo has been with the team for 10 years. Look at him. He can't do anything. Nothing. I mean, look what's going on with Bellerin. Look what happened to Coquelin. I mean,
this is supposed to be the youth of what we're supposed to be looking forward to, and I don't see these guys improving at a rate that would say, hey, even if you were starting the clock right now, you'd be like, how good can these guys be in 2 years? Shit, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
it's like I said, man, it's deep. I don't know. It's deep. I wish I knew what they did in practice. I wish I knew what they trained on, because there's something deep going on. Like, nobody is improving. They're getting worse. And it's just a slow process that just keeps happening with several different players. I mean, you would think at this stage in Ox's career, he'd be lighting the world on fire. You would think, with the amount of time Theo has had with the club, Jack, Ramsey, even Bellerin now. I mean, they are regressing at just an alarming rate. I mean, it's just there's something going on, man. And the only consistent thing is Wenger. If he came out and said, I'm going to sign a 2-year contract, but I'm going to change the way we do everything as far as training. They don't watch film. They don't study their opponents. They don't do any of the progressive things that most coaches do to get their team prepared to play week in and week out. We don't do any of those things. We just show up and be creative, be artistes, and just go out there and do the same shit over and over again. But I mean, if he was to come out and say he's willing to, just change all that shit, to reinvent the wheel, then, I'd give him a go. But we already know that's not happening. He's an egomaniac. He's got the Arsenal world by the balls. And, the only way it's going to change is if he goes at this point.
I mean, we have now hit a point in this saga that proves he is an egomaniac. Dude, you would have announced by now. Except that you're getting something off of this, man. I mean, do you go home and whack it to this? Is that what you're doing? Why won't you just say something? It's just getting to a point where, how could this not be a distraction? While you got other people's contracts, lurking and looming, and they just want to know who's going to be their fucking coach.
Exactly. And people say, it's, Arsenal fan TV or the fans or the negativity that's, that's hurting the players' feelings, and that's why they're not playing so hard. Man, it's the fact that they don't know who's going to be their coach next year. They don't know what's going on. He refuses to say. And that, like you said, that is a distraction. That is a complete distraction. You're absolutely right with that. But it's a complete mess, and we're getting the EPL is getting more and more quality coaches, and the more that come in, the more he's just being found out.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't got it no more because he refuses to roll with the times. He refuses.
Yeah,
it's a sad tale of ego and just getting old. And
totally.
The reason you get old is because you refuse to change. You just get set in your ways, and I know what I'm doing. It's just a sad tale of just ego and old age, man.
It's a trip. How it's a trip that I don't know what to say about the old guy, dude. Like, to know in your head, though, that every press conference that you haven't made the announcement, then it just becomes a bigger and bigger question every time. So, like, to act like you're going to have these little press conferences and think like you're not going to get asked this question constantly, and you still choose with the smug little look on your face to not say anything, like,
right. That's huge.
It is. And, and your little smug comment about Alexis's contract, I don't know why everybody makes a big deal. He is still under contract for 16 more months and blah, 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 blah. Like,
right. It's a big deal.
Why are you treating everybody stupid? Like we're stupid.
Right.
We don't get this,
Right. It's a big deal because you're so greedy that you'll just sell him. Because he only has 16 months on his contract. That's why it's a big deal. Because you've done that in the past. Like, you're not going to sign, you got to go. But, I mean, and here's the thing, people want to get on the board. I get on the board. But the board's not doing anything wrong. They give him money. They tell him, they're not saying they're not just saying, if you get fourth place, that's perfect, man. That's perfect. Don't try to do anything else. Just get fourth place, okay? That's all we want. They're not saying that. And the fact that none of them know anything about football, so they've invested all their trust in this man who, according to some, has built this club, how is that a bad thing? It seems pretty smart to me. Like, we don't know shit about this fucking European football shit. So we're going to entrust everything to you. We're going to give you money and I don't know, go out and do your thing. Where they miss the boat is in times like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they don't come out and say, he doesn't want to come out and say anything, but we're going to tell you he's already signed his contract. He's just being a little fag about it. What I mean? Just,
right.
Just undercut him. Just be like, he's just being a little dick about it. So, he signed his contract. We're going to go ahead with him for 2 years. We do have a contingency plan, and this is what we're going to do. Don't pay him any mind. He's an egomaniac.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just come out and do that, or say, this is unacceptable. The results are shitty. We're not happy, but we don't know what we're doing. Say that.
Yeah.
But to just not say anything and to just let this guy keep going on and on and on with his foolishness is just, like you said, it's a huge distraction with the fan. It's a huge distraction with the fans. So just imagine the players. They're already fragile.
Well, and to your point about the board, the board, their responsibility is the well-being of the entire franchise. Like, if they've been making money year after year, profiting for a while now, like
yes.
they're everything's just fine as far as they're concerned. They're making their people that own Arsenal money, and that's the main goal by the board.
That's the main goal.
Vinger is the one that's supposed to be worried about the play on the pitch, the product that is supposed to be driving their profits.
Exactly. And they don't know about football. So, I mean, what can they say? Sign, I don't know, sign somebody. I don't know. Here's some money. You know what I mean? That's
make it work, buddy. Make it work, okay?
Yeah. I got a stadium to build. I mean, come on. I got to get the Rams a stadium. I got to get some new cleats, shoulder pads, helmets. Come on. I got to feed these big black guys. Come on. Make some money.
Do you have a clue what it takes to feed a football team in America? Do you? Huh?
But yeah, it's but here's the thing, if people say he's greedy, he's in it for the money. If we don't get top 4, he's gonna lose some money. So we're gonna see how greedy he is.
Yes,
you know what I mean,
that's what I was gonna say. The profit line has moved this year, though. You're not gonna make the same money.
Exactly. So, I mean, we're gonna see if that is the case, because if you start messing with people's money, that's when that's when voices get heard. We shall see. We shall see. Man, it's I don't even know what else to say, really. I mean, no, like I said, Monreal had a good game, or he played hard.
I thought Monreal had a good game. He played hard. Definitely was getting. Zaha was trying to take it to him, and he was doing well against him.
Right. He Alexis didn't have a good game. He tried to do too much, a lot of dribbles, was getting caught with the ball. His passing was off. Welbeck, and that has a lot to do with Big Sam and his defensive tactics. I mean,
Sure.
If you rewatch the game and you see how they set up, it was pretty formidable. Like, we couldn't really crack it, and it was just real congested in some of those areas where we like to pass the ball. Yeah, and it was just a good game plan.
I see very little of the team. Like, I mean, you do get a run here and there.
Yeah.
But it's, if it's just one run every 4 or 5 minutes that you make, like, the other team just has to be on point, like, for that run,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
When the next 10 minutes are going to be filled with passing it around the perimeter, and, so I don't see enough activity with the team, to really try to make things happen. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just my, it's just my new thing lately. But I mean, I just, I don't understand how teams. It's the same feeling I have when I'm playing FIFA, man, on my Xbox. Like, I play these kids online, and I'm trying to figure out how is it when they steal the ball from me, they just boom, 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 break. I'm out. Like. Right. Just they're out. They're on their way down the pitch, and I get a steal, and I try to break out, and I got defenders to maneuver around and try to sneak a pass in. Like, that's Arsenal. That's where Arsenal is. Like, they can keep the ball for some possession and act like they're still looking in and trying to find a cutter and. But it's not there, and it's almost baffling to me, like how Arsenal should have the talent to be able to cut teams open at times, but I watch other teams do it to us all the time.
It's a complete mess, and it's just a complete mess, and I don't see it improving. That A few weeks ago, I was, thinking, has this team quit on Arsenal? And then the West Ham game came, but clearly they're not trying. They're not trying as hard as they should be trying.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Clearly, the lack of movement. Ozil was, the one moving around a lot today. Ozil.
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, like it. You're forced now, okay? We both agreed Montreal probably had the better game of anybody out there, probably. So now you're forced. Who else, Eric? One more person who had a decent game.
Decent game. I would say the young keeper had a pretty good game until the penalty. Martinez.
Yeah.
But I didn't think Ozil played that bad. He didn't do much. But I didn't think he played bad at all. I thought he was trying. He was moving around. He was making some passes. Him and Alexis had a few good connections. So I would say Ozil and Monreal and Martinez.
That's exactly where I sit. I mean, I thought Ozil played okay. I thought he did kind of try to make something happen. I don't, it's just so easy for a team to kind of sit back on D and just, don't lose your shape. Don't lose your shape and you'll be right in position to just, kind of stuff Arsenal. And that's what they did,
And it's so easy because you only have to really defend one side of the pitch.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to defend the side where Theo and Bellerin are on. You really don't.
Right.
I'm not trying to be a dick, but you really don't. They're just, I mean, they don't read each other well. Theo's decision making is awful, and Bellerin's runs could be a lot better. There's so many opportunities where he can beat that guy 1v1, but he never does. He just passes it back to El Nini and, goes about his business. There's no reason why Monreal is making better overlapping runs than Bellerin,
Uh-huh.
There's just no reason.
And
it could be because Theo doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to read it, can't get it to him. That could be the case. But both of them over there just, so you really only have to congest one side of the field is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. How many times, I can't even think how many times but basically plays when Zaha takes off down the right-hand side, Zaha's a pretty good athlete in general, but what they're measuring is they, physically they believe he's a better athlete than Monreal. So They send him up the sideline. Hey, by the way, Theo, take this a page out of the notebook, without the ball. They run him up that side without the ball. And, to take advantage of somebody like Theo's speed, it can't just constantly be a kick it to him so he could receive it and then try to burn somebody. You got to make a decision. You're going to try to burn them with his speed earlier. Right. You got to decide, go. All right, go, Theo. I'm going to put it up there. Go,
Right, because he can't dribble with the ball or make a good decision with a pass. So
yeah, I mean, the few times you see him dribble around somebody, he made because he doesn't do it enough, I'm going to call it a lucky touch, but he kind of get a lucky tap around somebody and then take off, and that's how he kind of breaks out sometimes. But you can't count on that. Defenders are good.
and like I was saying about regression, players regressing. I mean, you look at you look at Zaha, you look at Theo. You know what I mean? Theo gets all the hype, but you see Zaha, he's still able. I mean, he's doing shit throughout the game. He's making his presence felt throughout the game, and you just don't get that enough with Theo. That whole right side, you don't get that enough. And here's a guy who's been at the club for over 10 years, team captain today. So it's like I was saying, it's deep. There's something going on in training. There's something going on. It's a mess. Who we got coming up?
Oh, man. I mean, we got a tough one coming up, man. We got Middlesbrough.
Them teams
and I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, those teams at the bottom fighting for their lives. That's who we don't want to play now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna scratch and claw and do whatever they got to do. And then we got the FA Cup semifinal, and then we got Leicester City. So, things, winter is coming. It's not looking too good. Did you see the Masters before we get out of here?
I did watch the Masters. I'm one of the few people walking around America that I've always kind of liked Sergio.
Yeah.
So hats off to Sergio. The Masters always gets me fired up for it's like spring is really here now. Like it's springtime.
Yeah. It was fun to watch. It was I tell you what, I kept saying he just can't. If he could only hit those 5, those 6 footers, those 7 footers, he would have all kind of what do they call them, major championships. He just that 7 foot putt just kills it. He's got to get so close to get birdies. You know what I mean? And that's what was so impressive with him this weekend. And and the fact that, he's a ball striker. He hits the piss out of the ball.
Oh, man.
You don't really hear a lot of people talk about his length and just how he strikes it. But, and that's why people thought, this guy's going to win a lot of majors. But that damn, that's those 6 footers, those 7 foot, those 8 foot putts kill him. And, he came clutch, got the eagle and, made the birdie. I didn't want Rose to win for some reason.
I didn't either.
I didn't want him to win. So I was happy for Sergio. Congratulations to the Spaniard. Let's go.
On Seve Ballesteros' anniversary. It's a fine day.
Seve, every time they show footage of Seve, I always think, how much cocaine was that fool doing? He just looks like he was really geeking on some good cocaine, man.
Can you imagine the things that go through, a pro golfer's locker room? Like the bets, the amount of money, and the cocaine, and
all kind of shit.
Strippers' numbers that get passed around, and it's
the life. It's the life, Eddie. It's the life. Just ask Tiger. Tiger was.
I'm not invited to that club. Oh.
Give me your ass. Give it.
I don't care if we're in CVS's parking lot. I don't care.
As soon as he walks into a Waffle House, he just says, "Give me your ass, damn it."
I love the Waffle House.
I love Tiger. As soon as Tiger starts being a freak and running around getting all kind of pussy, he would start winning major championships again. But he had to change all that. So like a piece of him is gone. You know what I mean? He's a freaky, dirty motherfucker. You know what I mean? Who likes popping all kind of crazy.
I don't know what the hell they put in this syrup, but damn, I'm horny.
That's going to do it today. Caught in Two Minds podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to end it on that. Go ahead and drop us an email. CITMpodcast@gmail. You can hit me up on Twitter @eMarshall, EMARSHO. And
I'm at Gooner Rush.
And hit the show up on Twitter. Drop us a line, give us a question, give us a comment. CITM Podcast on Twitter. Go over to iTunes, subscribe, rate, and review. We're also on SoundCloud. You can check us out on YouTube. Come on, man. Support this show.
Appreciate it, people. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the emails. And, all right. 3-0 loss. And peace.
Peace.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Cod and Two Minds. Please head on over to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review the show. All feedback is much appreciated. If you would like to contact the show, drop us an email at citmpodcast@gmail.com. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at CITMPodcast, at Gooner Rush, and at eMarshall. That's EMARSHO. The music in this podcast has been provided by Statics. If you like what you hear, be sure to check them out at staticsentertainment.com and follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Statics Music. That's STATX Music. Peace.
Give it! Give me your ass! Tiger's a savage. Stop it.